The impact of crises. Alongside the growth of entrepreneurial activity, the economies of countries continue to expand, creating new jobs and improving the accessibility of goods. With the increase in consumer demand, the need for production also rises. Sold goods need to be transported, vehicles need to be fueled, and to support the operation of billions of computers and servers, more stations and substations are required. Gradually, this leads to the growth of resource accessibility issues. As the economy grows, so do the scales of industrial production. Vehicles become an integral part of our daily lives. They deliver products to stores, goods to warehouses, and parcels to our homes. In my childhood, not every family owned a car, but today, having multiple cars in a family is a common occurrence. All these vehicles require fuel, and the demand for it only increases each day. Computers and servers, which form the basis of our digital infrastructure, also require energy for uninterrupted operation. New stations and substations must meet this demand, providing energy to cities and enterprises. Simultaneously, the daily needs of the population also demand resources. Bloggers need outlets to create content, and their subscribers need them to consume it. This creates additional pressure on energy systems. More and more people are engaging in the digital economy, and this requires even more energy. All these changes lead us to today's crucial topic of resource sources. The world is not standing still, and our demand for energy and materials constantly grows. At the same time, fossil fuel reserves are not infinite, and their extraction causes significant harm to the environment. It is customary for us, humans, that authorities do not rush to raise the issue of climate change, but an attentive observer can notice natural disasters happening almost all over the world. Additionally, statements by renowned scientists and studies published in Nature Communications at least make one think about it. A statement on climate change and the urgent need for action, along with an address by a scientist to the presidents of the USA, China, and Russia, was published on August 14, 2023, on the personal website and YouTube channel of Dr. A. Egan Chalakian. According to a study, the Gulf Stream could cease to exist at any moment between 2025 and 2095. Experts have described the potential consequences as climate chaos. Today, humanity is faced with the necessity of seeking new sources of energy and ways to utilize them. The development of economies and technologies presents us with new challenges. To maintain a balance between growth and sustainable development, we must pay attention to the availability and rational use of resources. This issue is becoming increasingly relevant, requiring innovative solutions and global cooperation. To sustain current growth rates and ensure stability, sustainable and rational use of natural resources is essential. The topics of ecology, the transition to electric vehicles, and the increasing demand for energy are being raised more frequently around the world. And these are not just discussions. These changes are already happening today. Their significance is confirmed by the laws adopted in various countries and states regarding the transition to electric vehicles. For example, California and Denmark plan to transition to the sale of new cars with electric engines by 2030. The state of California, USA, plans to completely transition to the sale of new cars with electric engines by 2030. Denmark plans to have 775,000 electric or hybrid vehicles on the road by 2030, which is one-third of all cars in the country as of 2024. This is not just an economic necessity in the context of growing industrial needs, but rather a political step towards addressing environmental pollution issues and improving the quality of life for citizens in these countries. In 2023, a detailed discussion on transitioning to clean energy sources took place at the annual Edison Electric Institute EEI Forum. The Edison Electric Institute EEI is an association representing all U.S. investor-owned companies involved in the generation and distribution of electricity. The discussion, led by Elon Musk and Edison Electric Institute President Pedro J. Pizarro, thoroughly examined the prospects for the development of renewable energy. Elon Musk, known for his active stance on sustainability and innovative energy projects, emphasized the importance of investing in solar and wind energy. He noted that energy production and storage technologies have significantly advanced, making the transition to renewable sources not only possible, but also economically beneficial. Musk highlighted Tesla's projects in creating battery systems that can efficiently store energy, ensuring stable power supply even during periods of low renewable energy production. Pedro J. Pizarro, in turn, underscored the role that large energy companies play in this transition. He pointed out that the electric industry is on the brink of significant changes, and sustainable energy production should become a priority for all market participants. Pizarro also highlighted the importance of government support and regulatory frameworks that can accelerate the adoption of clean technologies. Both leaders agreed that the transition to renewable energy sources requires a comprehensive approach, including technological innovations, infrastructure changes, and cooperation between the private and public sectors. They discussed possible strategies for overcoming obstacles such as the high initial investment costs and the need to modernize existing power grids. The discussions held by Musk and Pizarro highlighted the necessity of collective efforts and innovative solutions to achieve global energy and environmental goals. Modern technologies require new approaches to resource utilization, and it is crucial to understand that economic development inevitably demands innovation. For example, the extraction of oil and gas, as well as other minerals, leads to significant carbon dioxide emissions and environmental disasters. These processes not only harm the environment, but also have a cumulative effect, negatively impacting the global climate. The solution to these problems has been found in renewable energy sources, and the rational use of natural resources is becoming an integral part of the global strategy for sustainable development. In my opinion, these same principles of rational resource use should be applied in business. The issue of resource accessibility for small businesses is becoming increasingly relevant, requiring new approaches and solutions on a global level. Innovations in the rational use of such valuable existing resources will become a key factor in sustainable business development in the coming decades. For small businesses, this can be achieved by using renewable technologies in managing their processes. This will allow for more efficient use of available resources and reduce financial costs. The key to implementing this idea in this field will be the methodologies on which new business processes are based. These methodologies involve the exchange of experiences, resources, and innovations between enterprises. Business, technology, climate. Let me explain what these lessons in natural science have to do with the topic of business. Economic development inevitably requires the advancement of technology, and these in turn must be safe for us. Here, perhaps the most illustrative example is the digging of quarries, the extraction of oil, gas, marble, gold, and other minerals from the earth, and the resulting widespread soil collapses, sometimes taking many lives. Carbon dioxide emissions into the atmosphere amount to hundreds of millions of tons annually. The harmful impact on the global climate also arises from the lack of a culture of waste recycling, particularly plastic, which clogs the world's water bodies and affects fauna and wildlife. Like any destructive phenomenon, this has a cumulative effect. Similarly, the scale of consumption affects the entrepreneurial ecosystem. Irrational use of resources here already has a similar effect. If we believe the statistics on the number of people wanting to start their own business in Russia, we see a grim picture. In 2016, 34% of people wanted to start their own business, but by 2022, this number had dropped to 23%. There is an outflow of those wishing to have their own business, and this is akin to the climate crisis of modern entrepreneurship, requiring innovative solutions. These solutions lie in new sources of resources and their more efficient use. We will inevitably have to come to this. On one hand, the decrease in the number of aspiring entrepreneurs indicates growing risks and difficulties faced by novice businessmen and the small business segment as a whole. Bureaucratic obstacles, high taxes, stiff competition, and the need for significant initial investments can deter many. In such a situation, the decrease in the number of entrepreneurs seems like a worrying signal, indicating a worsening business climate. However, on the other hand, it can also mean an increase in the quality of businesses. People are becoming more cautious and thoughtful in their decisions. Those who decide to start their own business do so more deliberately, carefully assessing risks and opportunities. They enter the business with a clearer plan and understanding of what is needed for success. This can lead to the emergence of more sustainable and viable companies capable of withstanding competition and handling crises. Moreover, the market itself can stimulate more rational resource distribution. The fewer people strive to enter business, the more opportunities existing companies can get for growth and development. For example, in retail, a decrease in new market entrants can lead to less competition for consumers. This allows existing companies to strengthen their positions, increase market share, and invest more resources in innovation and improving service quality. It is important to note that the decrease in new entrepreneurs may be a temporary phenomenon. With the advent of new technologies and opportunities, the number of people willing to try their hand at business may rise again. In my opinion, it is crucial to create favorable conditions for this growth by ensuring access to knowledge, support, and resources. Someone has to work, a reader might justly note. Why is it necessary to have your own business when there are job market opportunities for seekers? The author responds, besides the comparative abundance of options in today's job market, there are also technological trends such as optimization, automation, robotics, and the development of artificial intelligence (AI). The noticeable buzz in this area was caused by the leap in neural network development and their widespread application in recent years. People have started talking about the inevitable loss of jobs in entire industries, which to some extent is justified. Just look at the example of Amazon's robotic warehouses, where there is not a single person. Today, this is efficient and economically advantageous. Being an entrepreneur is not easy, but it will sharpen your mind, protect you from the consequences of job cuts, and increase your value as a specialist. One way or another, the market signals the need for adaptation and the search for new solutions, as well as the importance of a rational and sustainable approach to business development. Ultimately, this can lead to a healthier and more stable entrepreneurial ecosystem capable of effectively meeting challenges and seizing opportunities for growth and prosperity.